everyone. Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
On TV.
ENN tonight. You know what we're doing, don't you? Security Dodge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle Scalisi. Go ahead and go get some. Let's start off tonight's big ENN vehicle by saying good evening to my friend Michael.
Oh, what are you, an idiot?
And good evening to my friend Michael.
Sunday, October 6th, in London against the Vikings. I think we're going to go and do the show from there. I'm lying.
Good evening to my dear friend Don.
There's no internet at my mom's house.
And good evening to Don.
Maybe engage Grandma.
I knew that would play. Good evening to Don.
She's not asking for it.
And good evening to myself. Well, I didn't miss the tip. A lot of people were excited that I said that. Was that really that much of a thing?
Yeah, because it could go so many ways. I was excited, but I just didn't want to go the ways that it could go because it could get in trouble.
I like Don. I think you can name the. I think you can name your 12th book "Engage Grandma."
I didn't like where you were going there, though. They talk to Grandma, get to know something.
Engage with Grandma is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, that too. Maybe engage Grandma.
It was just a funny sentence. That's all.
No, it is, but I didn't want you to
I wasn't thinking of whatever you're thinking. That's not what I was thinking. Let's say good evening to our friend Mike Breen.
Oh, will you stop?
And to Mike Breen.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right.
And good evening to Mike Breen.
Batum goes the dynamite.
Let's celebrate a wonderful night at MSG last night, shall we? Bing Bong is right. Jalen Brunson, he drops another 40 spot. Knicks get the win. They're up 3-2 heading out to Indiana on Friday evening. Jalen Brunson says that, no shock, the Knicks needed this win.
It was big time. They played really well back in Indiana, put us on our heels, and we needed to respond. Just doing what we do, sticking to our values, our core principles, and just doing the things that we do that help us be successful.
How did the foot get better that quickly? He looked so compromised in Game 4.
Well, maybe it's just a pain thing. It's starting to feel a little bit better.
Maybe.
I mean, 4 to 8 hours isn't nothing. I mean, it's a nice little bit of rest. And maybe there's some treatment in there. Like, I don't know if they gave him another shot, but there's maybe something that made it a little bit more manageable for him.
Jalen Brunson says, listen, one game's great, but it doesn't affect the next game.
One thing that I've learned in the playoffs is that one game does not have any effect on the next. And so no matter what the situation is, whether you lose by 1, lose by 30, and so it has nothing to do with next game. So honestly, once we leave here tonight, this is over with. It's all about how do we prepare for game 6.
That's wise, because if you really let a big victory impact you, then you have to let the big loss on Game 4 impact you, and it didn't. It was like a loss. Like they lost by 1.
Dante DiVincenzo had some big moments last night. Tell us about the altercation with Miles Turner.
They're trying to be tough guys. That's not their identity. And there was nothing more to that. I just don't, I don't agree with trying to, walk up on somebody that nobody's going to fight in the NBA. So take the foul, keep it moving. You're not a tough guy, just keep it moving.
Miles Turner is not a tough guy, according to Dante DiVincenzo. By the way, we got to show love to Alec Burks.
18 points.
That was honestly, it's such a promising thing to have happen, guys. I mean, you can't guarantee you'll get it again, but
it's 2 games in a row, though.
But it's 2 games in a row, Michael. Yeah, because he was good in the game when everyone else was horrible.
Yep.
And it lets you know that maybe there is somehow yet another option that exists on this team that we didn't know about when they're shorthanded, which they've been and will continue to be. Draymond Green, he's still not impressed by the Knicks.
Why does Knicks fans think I hate the Knicks, though?
Why do they? Because you did say you didn't like New York.
No, that's a lie.
But I thought you
said. I told the truth about the team. And the truth about the team was it's a fluke.
I tell you what, that's why they don't like you.
I said this team, they're winning right now. And it could be, I think it's a setup like the Atlanta Hawks in 2021. And if you remember back to maybe 2016-17, the Portland Trailblazers paid all of those guys because they had that one good year. And then they got jammed up. And I think think this New York Knicks team could be a setup to get jammed up.
See, here's what I don't understand. The more I think about this, right? Well, let's say it's a one-year-only thing, which I don't think it is. How's that a setup? Can't you just enjoy this year? That's ridiculous. How many dynasties in the history of sports are there?
So he believes, I guess what he's trying to say is that this is fool's gold.
That's right.
That the organization is going to run it back, not do anything to try to improve themselves because they believe they've got a team that's good enough to win a championship. I don't think that'll be the case. I think Leon Rose understands there's limitations to this roster. But I think they're exactly where they should be. And if they're healthy, I think that they would have gotten through this series a lot easier. So I'm not really sure what he's trying to say. First of all, he got the years wrong with Portland. It was 18-19, not 16-17. And the 21 Hawks were a 43-win team and a 5 seed. So if they and they just happen to go, sometimes teams make runs, guys. I don't know the inner workings of the Hawks, whether they bought into it or not. But I think people looked at that Hawks team as a genuine surprise. I didn't know if anybody really looked at them as a legitimate threat at a championship. This Knicks team went to the second round last year, and now it looks like they've got an excellent chance to go to the third round the following year. So I don't see the comparison to the Hawks. I don't see the comparisons to the Blazers because most of these guys are locked up for at least next year. And if they end up having to pay Brunson, wouldn't it be worth it? Now, if they end up giving tons of money to Hartenstein, all right, maybe that might hurt them as far as the luxury tax is concerned. But do we see any evidence that Leon Rose is going to overestimate his roster? Where's the evidence, Draymond? I want to know where the evidence is to anything that you're saying.
Make it make sense, Draymond.
I think it was, either Don or Peter said this, and I really do agree. A lot of it must stem from these guys, these quote-unquote experts. None of them saw this coming with Brunson. They don't like being wrong. So I think it might have been Don who said, maybe they look at this, maybe they think that's the fluke, but they don't want to say it and insult Jalen. So they're saying 6'2" guard, and that's being generous. Him doing this, it's just not sustainable. But they don't have the guts to say that.
That's what I really think it comes from. Because if you're telling me this team is a fluke,
then you're saying he's a fluke.
Then you're saying that he's the fluke because he's the one that's really been the difference maker on this team. No offense to any of the players. You know, DiVincenzo has been great. Hart has been special. But they are in the situation they're in because this guy's pouring in 40 a night. So I think I really believe it's that they don't have the guts to go after Brunson because that's player-on-player crime. What they're going to do is they're just going to insult the whole team. But I think deep down inside what they're saying is the fluke is Brunson.
You know what? It's an excellent point by Don LaGreca. Hey, Tracy Morgan had a response to Draymond. Let's hear from Tracy on TNT.
Let me tell you something, Draymond. I love you like cook food. I love you like the fat kid loves cake. Don't talk crap about my team. This is New York City, kid. This is the home of King Kong. This is where he died, okay? The Warriors is filmed there, okay? This is how we get down. This is New York City.
He can't hear you.
Period. Don't talk crap about my team, Draymond. I love you. Peace. All right? Back to you guys.
Not an excellent retort, but I appreciate it.
You know what, Tracy, he has his own style.
It has nothing to do with New York. It has everything to do with him just having his facts wrong. Well, why do you got to throw when you love him? What would you love about Draymond Green?
Well, he's allowed to love the guy.
But I want to know why.
Well,
other than
anything.
You're afraid to insult him. When you're throwing out "I love you," it's like, don't get mad at me for hating on you.
I don't think Tracy suffers fools. I think he probably actually likes Draymond Green. Respects him. That's my guess.
In what sense?
I've never been inside the man's brain.
I believe he just threw it out there. Doesn't know the man from Adam, other than his basketball style.
I bet Tracy Morgan has met Draymond Green before.
I don't think so.
Let's pick apart, though, what Peter missed yesterday by driving to the Garden. He could have seen Mike Breen sitting in the Wild.
That's right. Didn't he?
Billy Crystal, Bob Costas.
That wouldn't be in the Wild. That would not be in the Wild. Not in the Wild. It would have been in his habitat.
No.
Habitat.
But Mike Breen sitting in the stands would be in the Wild. If, you had a seat at yesterday's game and you're sitting next to Mike Breen, you're not expecting that. That's in the Wild. I'm sorry.
What?
If he's broadcasting and you see him, then that's one thing. He's sitting there in civilian clothes.
You facts, because yesterday was a TNT vehicle.
Right.
Okay, that's right. Sure.
But what's killing him is the Billy Crystal, Bob Costas.
Right, because he doesn't hold Mike in high regard.
You mean Billy Bob Costas, if you will?
No, but that's a nice combination.
Could have seen Tracy Morgan.
Really enjoy their company.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. I was excited about the prospect of seeing Billy and Bob.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? That's a picture I'm going to take with two guys who I admire.
Legends.
Who I have a nice relationship with.
Legends.
And I'm going to take a great photo. Two legends who actually know and I think don't hate me at the very least.
Here's a hot take, Michael, that Peter's going to hate me for.
You know what?
I
Too
want
late.
more.
But I think it's accurate. This is how terrible his decision was to drive. Is that if you told him earlier yesterday, sorry, no access to anyone, you got to go right to the suite, just the game, I don't think he goes.
Oh, you're so right. You are so, because he's all about the famous people.
And that's why, and then there's nothing wrong with that. That's why his decision to drive, which is flat out, excuse me, Peter, ignorant.
Asinine.
And it cost you a lot of fun.
Cost you a lot of memories.
Yeah. Because you don't know
Instead,
what can
you're
happen.
probably driving around like 31st Street looking for a free space. What a schnurr. Stop it.
Wait, that's considered schnurring.
Yeah, because
also?
you got the money to put the car in a lot. Come on. Either take the subway, put the car in a lot. Don't be driving around like 28th Street. Gee, I wonder if I could squeeze it in here.
And he's sweating it like he's late for his wedding because Billy's already texted him that he's there with Bob Costas, and you were...
Right. What a doofus.
I'm sorry for beating you up, Peter, but
this is
really
inexplicable.
I really respect your knowledge and your sense of the moment. Boy, did you screw up yesterday. Wow.
It's inexplicable.
Well, listen, let's hope the Knicks get another game, and we'll run it back.
He won't take the L.
He won't.
No, listen, hold on. Will I take the L? Because I'm not like Michael, okay? I'm everything that's right with this nation. You know why?
Why?
Because I will tell you the truth, Don. You presented a great case. It was a bad decision. I got it wrong. I shouldn't have done it. I'm regretful. I, at one point, actually pounded the steering wheel. Like, what the hell did I do?
I've been in that situation.
I got it wrong.
It took us 3 hours to get you here. Stop it. This was an easy L.
Let's. You've never taken an L in your life.
I've taken L's.
Oh no, you have. But admitting it,
of course, I've admitted it.
I got it wrong. Oh, sure you have. Let's hear from Ben Stiller. I think he'll express himself in a bit more detail than Tracy just did. He was on with Barton Hahn talking about the Game 5 atmosphere that I missed out on.
I mean, it was insane. The last few games have been incredible, and I don't know if it's just like we're in the moment or recency bias, but this just feels like a different level. It's so exciting. It's so exciting, and like you're saying, seeing all those Knicks alum there, the support they have for the team. I think everybody feels like this is just like a really special time.
I mean, what do you say about a phone line that good from Ben Stiller? What a line.
He's a famous person.
Oh, we've spoken to plenty of famous people with a horrible line. That's a beautiful
But he
line.
might be at the level where he gets some special treatment.
I bet you he's at the level of a landline.
No, I just think it's a standard landline. Which, by the way, I don't even think I can get in my house anymore.
You know what? It should be coming back. It should be a thing again.
I love the landline.
I think in my New York apartment, if you were to go landline, all you're getting is the Fugazi. It runs into your router landline.
Oh, no.
It's not a landline. I have a phone that is in my kitchen. That is the phone they call when a guest arrives, right? That's connected to a direct line. They should be able to turn that into a landline, no?
I would think.
That's where Carlton the doorman would call, right, Don? Peter has no idea who that is.
No, but that was more of an intercom.
Yeah, but this is kind of like, this serves as an intercom.
Jace. Yeah. This is intercom Jace. Let's hear from Ben Stiller again. He, waxing poetic on this team, Ben, on his glorious phone line, says that this Knicks team plays beyond just the pieces on the court.
There's been so much adversity this season with these injuries. That's what, to me, makes it feel like destiny, is because they've been overcoming these injuries time and time again, And, this latest OG injury, it was like, all right, well, maybe that's it. And, after that game in Indy, I think everybody was a little shook. Everybody was like, all right, what's going to happen? People were nervous. We were nervous. All those who believe in the team were nervous. And, what we came back with last night was just like, that does feel to me like a team that's going beyond just like what the pieces are, that there's something else going on.
I just marvel at the phone line.
You never listen to what
really,
he said.
No, I don't even care what he says. There's a chance that I ask Alan for the recording, and I just play it at night to go to sleep. It's that wonderful.
Well, he has a very soothing voice.
He does. He's so talented. Great writer, great actor.
You know, friend of the show, Ariel Helwani, is a huge Knick fan.
Yes, he is.
He did the opposite of what I did yesterday. He made a great decision. Decided last minute, he was so nervous about the game, and he decided, no, you know what? They're going to win, and it's going to be a moment, and I'm going to take my boys. And he just surprised his sons with tickets to the Knick game last night.
What kind of money does Helwani have?
Enough to buy some tickets?
I mean, that probably set him back.
Now, he did say, he said it set him back, and it was legitimately hard, and he had to push through his natural desire to not want to spend the money to say, this moment with my kids is worth it.
How old are his kids?
I feel like his oldest, preteen and, like maybe 8 and 11, I'm guessing, but in that
good
range.
age, then they'll appreciate it, sure.
Yeah. Because you're buying a memory that's going to be with them for the rest of their life.
He had to drop at least $800 a ticket.
Easily.
I thought $500 a ticket. He said it was the 100 level.
Well, that's a good level.
I know.
So it might be $1,000 a ticket.
No, I don't think it's $1,000 a ticket.
I know someone who has partial season tickets to the Rangers, right? And he doesn't have a lot of money, and those tickets mean a lot, and he wants to go to playoff games. So when Game 4 came up, he sold those tickets. He sold 2 tickets. They're okay for $1,500 a piece, so he could buy the tickets for the next round.
When Game 5 came up.
Yeah, when Game 5 came up, yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, when you don't have a lot of money, you got to try to make it work, and the next round is the conference final, so I can understand that. And now he doesn't have to live to regret it because they didn't clinch.
Right.
It stinks that he has to make that decision.
But even if they did clinch, he knows he's going to the conference finals.
Right. But there might have been a little bit of regret that he missed out on that. But it's moving on to you're not rewarded anything. I think you want to be there when they clinch the third round, if they were to.
If this team advances to the conference finals, will the three of us try to get credentials on the same night and go take in the game like gentlemen?
I would love to. I'd love to with both teams.
Well, I'm good.
I might want to buy a ticket to the Knicks, 2 tickets, because Charlie keeps asking me.
I'm credentialed. I can buzz myself into the building.
Right, you can show up whenever you want. You're good.
I think you need a separate credential for the playoffs, right?
Who?
Everybody.
Not me.
No, not Don LaGreca. Not Don Marco.
I'm a garden employee.
That's right.
I can buzz into areas that people aren't allowed in.
Excuse me?
So you can sit down right next to Jim Dolan if you want.
I mean, I would be escorted out.
I think you'd be tased.
All right.
But I have access to
quickly,
the room.
There are a couple things I want to hit real quick.
I think he knows me enough to not tase me.
Well, but the people that are there to protect him don't know who this big white bearded guy is.
Hold on, real quick, Don. With all due respect, he had Charles Oakley. He was dragged out of the garden like a heathen.
Right, but I never said anything bad about.
Yeah, but he wouldn't even know who you. He would just think you were the hell.
No, he would recognize me. He'd still escort me out, but I think. My recognizability would save me from being tased.
No, I don't. No, again, the personnel he has around him would be. He doesn't do the tasing himself.
Do you think he has private security or garden security?
Of course, they're his.
No, but I'm saying the garden security loves the show, and I get along.
Well, they might say, Mr. Dolan, I don't think I should tase him, and he'll go, I think you should, and then you'll be tased.
I don't think Mr. Dolan would not have me tased. No. I'm not going to say that our relationship would have me. Did he say, you grab a seat, Don, pour yourself a scotch?
No,
he
I'm
would
with
still
Michael.
Escort me out. He would have me removed.
No, we'd have audio of don't tase me, bro. How long do you say we have here, Anthony?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? All right. Let's hear from Caitlin Clark. She struggled a bit in Game 1 with the fever, but still managed 20 points on a rough night from the field. Here's Caitlin Clark after her debut.
Thought it was physical. I don't know. Obviously, it wasn't like the best start in the first half for myself. Getting into foul trouble, and then you got to sit on the bench and try to come back into the game and get into a little bit of a flow. But I think just a lot of things to learn from. I didn't think we played well, and we had cut it to 6 in the third quarter. So I think that's a positive you look at. Like, we really did not play a good game, but we were right there at moments, and then it kind of got away from us at the end of the third and fourth quarter. Didn't have the greatest start. So I think just a lot to learn from. It's the first one. There's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones. And, like we said in the locker room, like, we play on Thursday. You got to learn from it and move on and be ready to go.
And you know what they say, Michael? When the Fever play the Connecticut Sun, you throw out the record books.
But I got to tell you, if there's anybody, when you consider how sports is right now, to say it could be her, and she's still saying we.
Yeah, no, that's her. By the way, I interviewed a great women's player today, Flau'jae Johnson from LSU, who's like not only a champion, a women's champion, but also a great artist. What a personality on her. Man, it's crazy how loaded the women's game is.
Now, when you say artist, music?
Yes, she's a rapper.
Really?
She's a legit rapper signed up with Rock Nation, and she's played 2 years. She's heading into her junior year and will go on to the WNBA. Bronny James
this is weird.
He's not particularly focused on playing with his dad.
When I get there, I don't think it would be just be like me and my dad. I would be happy about getting to the league instead of me thinking about playing with my dad. But that's like not my mindset right now at all. I'm just trying to put in the work and see where it takes me.
Not like that. He doesn't want to make it seem like the nepotism is the reason he got there.
But to I get that it's a thin draft, but I'm sorry. Michael's point yesterday, if you can barely get on the court for USC, is it really reasonable to enter the draft now? People seem to think it's a good idea given the thinness of the draft. But that'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during the Memorial Day sales event.
What a show.